With Fisk behind bars, what's next?
And the city's safer than ever. Maybe Peter Parker can have more of a life.
Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Take care of this place. It represents the best part of me.
This is Miles. He's gonna be helping out around here.
For acts of extraordinary bravery. I'm the one who kept order in this city!
What is this? Devil's breath.
Your city and everything you care about will be destroyed. The people will beg you for help, but you won't be able to save them.
Get more backup. Wait!
We've got to play this just right. Please stop!
Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think.
Whew. Anyone else need a breather?
Hey, welcome to Insomniac Live. This is Insomniac Games' live stream Twitch show where we talk to all sorts of developers. A lot of times we play games, but not today. We're going to be talking over the Spider-Man trailer you just watched from Marvel's Spider-Man. My name is James Stevenson. I'm the community director at Insomniac Games. I'm joined here by Bryan Intihar, the creative director of Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. Hi, Bryan.
Hi, man. That was very, very enthusiastic intro. I was not ready for that. I just had lunch, so I don't know, man.
We had Thai food for lunch, and it's just like it's a heavy gut bomb.
I went to Wendy's today.
Well, that's also a gut bomb in its own way.
It was, yes, it was. But it was good. It was good.
Wendy's, is that just you're a little tired of Parisian food? You need to get back to some American burgers?
I don't know. I ate a lot of fries when I was over in Paris.
Well, fries are kind of a French food, technically.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So no, I just I needed to catch up with some friends from work, so we were just catching up on. We were talking a lot about the press conference and the trip and what people thought of Spider-Man.
Well, chat, I saw you guys freaking out over the trailer as you just watched it. Someone said I'm watching it for the 100th time. That's what we just did this week. Like, let's catch them up on this trip to Paris. So we flew out to Paris this weekend. Last week when I was saying I was going to Disneyland this weekend, you all thought I was talking about Anaheim, but I actually went to Disneyland in Paris.
Yeah, we didn't talk about any.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to say we were going to Paris or anything. Like, we had to stay like super stealth. During the pre-show, we were joking about like walking back and forth behind the camera and waving.
I just thought we'd get in trouble if we did that.
Yeah, so we didn't do it.
We had done such a good job the last 30 minutes. I figured not to blow it.
So we revealed this new trailer at the media showcase, and can you just talk about the trailer, talk about the interviews, talk about going to Paris? What was that?
So we were on it's like 10 plus hours to get over there from LA, and then we landed. You were in Disneyland the day when I landed, so I went out to dinner and got I had escargot for the first time, which was amazing. Couldn't sleep all that night. I was just actually texting back and forth with the Destiny 2 creative director, Luke Smith, who's a really, really good friend of mine because he was also in town. So then I met up with him the next day. We had some coffee, walked around Paris, and then it was the press conference. And the press conference was awesome. There are so many cool games shown. The PS4 lineup is fantastic, and I know this is not an ad just for PS4, but it was awesome. It was really a lot of cool trailers. I thought the new Sucker Punch game looked super cool.
Yep. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost looked. The Last of Us looked crazy. I thought Detroit looked. I mean, there's just
No, we
they have
saw.
a really different lineup.
To be honest, though, the Detroit trailer we didn't see.
No, we did not.
We did not watch
the Detroit trailer live because we were both of us were on our phones looking at the reaction to Spider-Man.
Yeah, and we did go back and watch it later. It does look awesome. Sorry, it was like once our trailer played, it was just like I was barely even watching our trailer on the screen. I was just like watching like Discord.
I think that's one of the things. Like, I don't think maybe people don't know, but like when we release these things, we actually tend to like go back home and just like are on the forums the whole time, like, or looking at Twitter and seeing what people are saying. So like I remember when we showed the game at E3, we had 3 days of full interviews on it, and I think I was up to like 3 a.m. checking like what all of the forums were saying, and then we pretty much did the same thing. I mean, at least I did. We had dinner. We went to dinner,
right?
But then we went right back to the hotel and just was looking at what everybody was saying. So
then the next day we did interviews all day. You were like basically in this like weird basement with weird lighting.
Yeah.
And trapped in a tiny room.
Yeah, we did a lot. Well, it's funny. We had interviews set up for every 20 minutes from journalists from literally all over the world. It was Japan. It was Germany. It was Saudi Arabia. It was
Australia.
It was UK.
US.
I mean, it was everywhere, and it was actually cool to meet all those people because I haven't done a ton of outside the U.S. press for this game, and so they all had their questions, and we did that from about 10 to 5. But you were scheduled to do 2 out of the for that day,
and then I just like was collecting them like.
And at one point, I hadn't seen you for like 3 hours, and I was like, "Where is he?" And he was like, "Yeah." So it was great. It was a really good.
I was chasing off the bearded barista who was doing interviews about the game.
But it was funny. Like it was funny. We release a trailer, and people want to talk about that for like 3 minutes, and they're like, "Well, tell me everything else that's in the game." And I was like, "Well, can we focus on the trailer a little?"
You hear that, chat? We may be a little focused on the trailer today. Yeah. But don't worry.
And I get it. People want to know more about the game. I totally get it, and I wish. But like, we still have some time, and there's a lot to this game, so we just want to kind of dig into more with the trailer because there's a lot of stuff in that trailer if you watch it.
The game is huge. There's lots of your questions. Yeah. We pulled some of the questions off of Twitter and Facebook ahead of time. We'll take some more directly from the chat as we go. So hold on to those this a second right now, but you can start peppering them in a little bit. If we don't answer certain questions, some of them we just can't answer yet, we'll do our best to answer what we can. If there's something you're all asking and we can't answer it, we'll tell you. So that's going to be the first...
let's tell them, what was that dish that you recommended that we get?
The beef bourguignon?
Oh! It's amazing.
Oh, it was good.
It was amazing.
Yeah, we took Luke Smith, who's the creative director of Destiny 2, out to dinner, and we had beef bourguignon and soufflés, and it was a lovely, lovely evening.
It was great. It was a good way to celebrate the trailer. It was really fun. It was really good.
So, this first half, we're going to be talking, for the next 20 minutes or so and some change, we're going to be talking about the trailer, getting some of your questions. Then around 2:30 in our second half, we're going to bring in art directors Jacinda Chew, senior writer Jon Paquette, and we're going to do a live trailer rewind. So we're going to go through shot by shot in the trailer, talk about some of the Easter eggs, some of which nobody has pointed out online. So exclusive reveals of new Easter eggs, as well as some other little details that we haven't talked about or no one's asked specifically about yet. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that bit. I am going to give a quick shout out to a couple of our moderators on Twitch, Joshua and Ashley. They just got married. Yay! Everybody congratulate Josh and Ashley on their marriage. We hope it goes great. They're longtime Insomniac fans. We've had them out to fan events before. They're awesome people, and congratulations on the marriage. So.
Yeah, hit me.
Ready. So we're going to get into questions, and the first question.
Yes.
From Nicholas Levi on Twitter says, since Peter has a crappy apartment and is behind on his rent, does that mean we're going to see the return of Mr. Dickovich as Peter's landlord?
I will say that Peter's had many landlords over the years, and you'll see when you play the game who we picked as the landlord.
Oh, so it might be someone you know.
Yeah, so dodged question number 1 already.
All right, look at that right off the bat. I even picked that one, and we dodged it.
Yeah.
Another question that we get a lot. Nathaniel Reed says, what can we expect in terms of costumes?
A lot of them. I mean, we obviously the one we focus on right now is the one with the white spider because it's very important to the narrative of the story and how it comes to be. But we've said from beginning that we want to have, alternate suits, and some of the stuff that the character team is creating and working alongside Marvel on those creations, they're pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Should I say anything more?
No. But I would chat. What costumes? What suit is important to you to see in the game? Type your response in the chat. Let us know which suits you.
That
love.
was like I remember reading like favorite suits like the minute we announced the game. Like that first E3, it was like here's the top 10. So we've read those, by the way.
Yeah,
all of them.
We'd still love to hear more,
Yes.
and I mean there will be lots of suits for you to choose.
There's some
from.
surprises there too. There's really some ones that are really going to shock people that we put them in the game.
So okay, on the White Spider. Coming back to that, and we see a lot. I'm looking now at the chat, and we see the homemade suit, Civil War, the Raimi suit, Iron Spider, the Homecoming suit, Symbiote, the Future suit. So a lot of great 2099 is in there. So a lot of ones we've thought about or seen people want for sure. And look, it's going crazy.
I know.
It's going crazy. Suits. The White Spider is definitely one that is important to us because it's, it identifies our Spider-Man. And, I know it was controversial a little bit when we first showed it, but it seems most people really love it now. You saw Zayn Malik out dressed up for Halloween as Spider-Man PS4. How cool is that?
It's really awesome. I think the thing we talked a lot about with this game being like, we want to stay, really stay true to the characters, true to the DNA, but we also want to mix things up. And I think that the white suit's a good example of that, where, you look at that character, you look at that suit, it's Spider-Man, right? But there's something different about it, something that says, oh, this is the Insomniac Spider-Man. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to have something that stood out a little bit from just being a little bit more unique. But with Marvel, we want to do there's a story reason for everything, right? And we want to make sure there is a cool narrative attached to it. So again, just making sure that we have something that identifies as our Spider-Man and that there is a interesting story reason for it.
Cool.
And how it comes to be.
Trimext said, this is one we've seen a lot, and we can't really talk about. We're not going to talk too much about traversal right now in the open world. But he said, can we do swinging tricks or multiple poses? And I think one of the things is people are like, oh, is there going to be more? You've seen a few little clips, and you've seen maybe some of the same animations. Yeah. There's a lot more animations going in.
Yeah. So we showed her last time we showed traversal really was a clip from D23, that event that we did, part of the Disney. Every other year they do a big show. And we had showed some new moves. But basically since then, two things that we've been really working on is sense of speed, which you saw some of that, which I mentioned at D23. But the next thing is adding a lot more variety of the animation. So you'll see some more classic poses that you've seen from the comics, but also just a lot more flair, just a sense of style. Like we said, he's more experienced. He's been doing it for 8 years. There should be a sense of expression, and that's something we just keep adding on. And I would say in the last couple months, it's really been kind of going up in terms of variety of the animations.
Cool. This is another one we're going to dodge a little bit, but we're still going to talk about it.
I don't know. I thought my answer last time was pretty damn good.
Yeah. The last one was great.
That's a lot of information.
I was more going back to the landlord. The landlord. World exclusive. World exclusives.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff Keighley. Right?
I knew both way there.
So the Punisher on Twitter asked, is there an upgrade tree or some sort of progression in the game? Are you going to be able to power up as you go?
So I always like to play a game when I'm getting interviewed. Like we do these, it's like how many people start asking these questions, and it's actually interesting that a lot of the journalists are asking very similar questions. It's not a bad thing, but just like what's on top of mind. And progression was a big thing. And like you said, we're not ready to talk about the specifics of that, but I will tell you that there is progression in the game, and that you will have the ability to unlock different things for your Spider-Man.
Yeah, so there'll be reasons to stay out in the city and roam around the city doing things.
And I will say, like, development's long, and it can be difficult at times. And one thing is that recently that loop of going out in the world and doing certain things, and it's gotten really fun, like really, really fun, to the point where like I'm saying to my wife, hey, I don't really want to go out tonight, because I want to play the game.
Because you've been playing the game for years.
And there was 3 weekends ago where I was on Twitter saying, hey, playing the game from home. And I played from I'll tell this story because whatever. All right, my wife guaranteed not watching this. All right, so from 12 to 5, I was playing the game at my house, and I actually tweeted out that I was playing it. And then we went out to dinner, and we were supposed to go to the movies that night. And she was like, I don't really feel that great. And I'm like, oh, it's okay, no problem. And I stayed up till 2 in the morning playing the game. And a lot of the time when you're developing a game, all you see is like, oh, we got to fix this and this. I was just playing the game because I was having a great time. So, I don't know. That seems like, I get it. And that's a lot of credit to the team who've been working on all of that stuff to do in the world and to make Spider-Man even cooler than when you start the game.
Agent Hydra just asked, and this, I'm going to tie this into another question, but he said, what's your favorite Spidey game that's already out? And I think Blair Farrell on Facebook said, what lessons have you learned from previous Spider-Man games? Chat, let's turn that back on you. What's your favorite Spidey game that's already out while you hear Brian talk about his?
It's hard to say there's one. I will tell you 3 because they stand out to me. One is the first Spider-Man 1 for PlayStation 1. It was made by Neversoft, the Tony Hawk guys. And I just loved it. It was the first time where I felt like it was, okay, this is a really awesome Spider-Man game. And it even didn't have open world swinging yet, but it just felt like it had a lot of great cast of characters. And I really loved it a lot. Spider-Man 2, I mean, obviously, it was open world New York City swinging around. It was great. It kind of set the, hey, here's the bar for open world swinging. And then I think the third one, and I'm kind of answering this 3 ways, was Shattered Dimensions, because you got to see so many different Spider-Men in one game, and they each had a different kind of play style. Noir was really, really cool. So they were so different, I didn't expect to see that in a video game. So I'll say those are my 3. And I think for what we've learned a lot of lessons. Just obviously with a lot of Spider-Man games, we look at what people like, what they didn't like, what they're waiting for. So we just kind of analyzed a lot of things, and the things you've seen in our game. Having that, those big blockbuster moments. Traversal that yes, the webs do attach to buildings. A lot of creativity and use of webs in acrobatics and combat. And then to have a story that goes beyond just being Spider-Man and actually seeing Peter Parker and the other people in his life. Those are things we take from a lot of the hard work from those other developers. These games, especially Spider-Man, every time something Spider-Man related or anything Marvel comes out, there's such high expectations. So we just want to hit that bar, hit that, and make sure that we're delivering on that. And a lot of those games did a lot of great things, and seeing what we could take and expand upon, or maybe do something a little different. Cool. So we played a lot of them.
I saw a lot of Spider-Man 2 from the chat. I saw Ultimate Spider-Man in the chat. Was a really big
that was fun
too,
to play as Venom. That was really cool.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. If you're just joining us, this is Insomniac Live. We're here kind of talking about the Marvel Spider-Man trailer for PS4 that we released at Paris Games Week earlier this week. I'm here with Bryan Intihar, the creative director of Marvel Spider-Man. And we're going to do a giveaway.
Why do I have any water?
Because I have not drank out of that, so it's all yours.
No, that's good.
I'm sorry.
I see how talent's treated.
Well, no, you can choose your own drink, but then we didn't get to it. It's my fault.
It's okay.
I think a giveaway sounds like a good idea, so Corey's going to start queuing that up. While we do that, I've got a shout out to the Spidey Squad. The Spidey Squad is out there.
They're in full force, man.
They're in full force on Twitter, Facebook. Evan Falarka, I saw you in the chat earlier. Also, Vigilante Spider, congrats on graduating high school. That's awesome, man. And you Spidey Squad guys, we love your enthusiasm. We love seeing you guys out there. So you can always join up with them. Hashtag Spidey Squad on Twitter. And they're always talking about the game, and you can also follow the hashtag Spider-Man PS4 on Twitter.
Yeah,
which is
that
good
crazy? Doesn't Spidey Squad have 14,000 followers or something?
Yeah, they have it. They've got a huge group of people.
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn maybe I was delirious when I was in Paris. But I was like, wow, they got an amazing amount of followers. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're sorry we have to starve you guys of info at times, but it's all for a good cause. We're making the game, and hopefully you get some cool stuff. So giveaway time. Corey's setting up here. The first giveaway today. I'm going to hold one end of this.
Yes.
Is the San Diego Comic-Con panel exclusive mini poster that shows the battle. This is the concept art. We were kind of setting up the trailer from the beginning because we knew we were going to show this in the trailer we released. So that's why we put the concept art out there since we knew we were going to show it. And this piece got... I remember we actually, again, I got a little bit of love to make it into a poster we could put out, and we really like it. We're going to give away 5 of these. And I'm going to tip this actually.
Do you want to know
forward.
something a little different about another exclusive?
Uh-huh.
So originally when we made this, way back, this was kind of like an inspiration piece. We wanted to have a fight on a train, which you saw some of that in the trailer. Mr. Negative originally didn't look like this.
Ah.
It looked a little different, and we actually, as we worked on and refined, that was something we worked on, and he got updated as we kind of finalized.
You can see the negative effects on the fist are very similar to what you saw in the trailer as well.
He looks super cool now.
So yeah, all you got to post, and they posted this in the chat, is an exclamation point raffle and then hashtag poster sweepstakes. We posted it on the screen. You've seen it in the chat. You see other people doing it. You should get a confirmation, I believe, when you post that. Raffle with, remember, exclamation point first, followed by raffle, then hashtag poster sweepstakes. You see everyone else doing it correctly. Make sure you get that confirmation. That way you know you're in. We're going to go back to questions now for a minute to give everyone a chance to enter the sweepstakes. Then we'll draw 5 winners with a chat bot, so it's completely random. Don't have any control. And then once we have your names and stuff, you'll need to get in touch directly with the Insomniac Games account on Twitch, so we get your mailing address. Probably ship those out next week or the week after, hopefully next week. So it's not our only giveaway today. You want to stay into the second half. We've got another great giveaway for something I might be wearing right now. But this one's just for the poster, so you'll need to enter again later. Stay with us on the Twitch chat. Go ahead and keep posting that. Let's see. Another question we get a lot. So you're talking about this Manhattan that you get to play in.
Yeah.
Compared to other games, or compared to your last open world game, how big is the map? Says Under the Mask.
Real big. I would say, it's much bigger than Sunset Overdrive. I mean, I don't know if we've said how much bigger it is, but it's like way bigger. And one of the reasons why it actually has to be bigger is that Spider-Man moves a lot faster than our Sunset Overdrive character did. So we actually had to, compensate for making sure that the city feels big, alive. And that's one of the reasons why we made it. And, Spider-Man hangs out in New York City. We want him to be able to explore and have a lot of areas to look at. So that's one of the reasons why it's so freaking big. It's a really, from Central Park all the way through the different districts, it's really pretty epically large.
Cool. On a different topic, as you guys saw in the trailer, there's Mary Jane.
Yeah.
She's in the
Big
game.
Exclusive coming out.
Total reveal. We hadn't talked about her before. You saw there's a moment where we actually show a section where we're playing as her, gameplay camera with her.
So Grand Central Station,
Waru asked Grand Central Station, right?
Terminal
Grand
Station.
Central Terminal.
I always call it Grand Central Station.
It's Terminal. It's our version of it.
Yeah.
What type of gameplay? Why was it important to play as gameplay? Waru asked what type of gameplay, but why was that important? Can you talk about what that adds to the game?
So, originally she was not a playable character.
Right.
And as we started developing more of the game and kind of finalizing the story and what, her relationship to Peter and all the world, we thought that it would be really, really interesting for this game to not just show a superhero world for a superhero, but what is it like to live and be in a superhero world as someone who doesn't have superpowers. And as we worked up more on Mary Jane, and we thought about her background, and she's not the club owner, she's not an actress in this game, but she's actually a reporter for Daily Bugle. Well, what kind of gameplay lends itself to someone who's a reporter? And that's pretty much all I can say about that. She's definitely someone who's a risk taker, wants to be in the front lines, trying to get the scoop, trying to piece things together, in some way help out Peter / Spider-Man. So that should tell you.
Oh.
That's probably more than I probably even said back when I was in Paris.
All right, well, there you go. Exclusive for everyone watching in the stream.
Yeah.
Corey, you ready to draw those names? Corey's on the, if you've watched our show, Corey's our guy who runs it, also our backup host when I'm not here. He hosted on Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for doing that, Corey. He also did a great Crispin Glover dance on Monday's show, so check out our past videos if you want to see him open that show.
Corey was super involved in making that awesome freaking trailer.
He was. Corey did edit that trailer, and the first edit of that trailer that we had was pretty solid.
So one thing you guys just know, when we work on something like a demo or a trailer or whatever, a lot of Insomniacs work on it, and in Corey's position, he had to coordinate and work with a lot of different people to bring it all together, and he did an amazing job. So a lot of kudos to him.
Yeah, good job, Corey. All right, let's pull that raffle or sweepstakes here. We're gonna get five winners coming up here, and so let's see. Here we go. It's very exciting to see when it happens. Let's see, what else we got a question. You mentioned this before. SkyrileX974 asked, are you a fan of Spider-Man Noir? Because I feel like it's Shattered Dimension inspiration for the stealth phases, and you just mentioned Spider Noir, so you talk about your fandom there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a really, I think a lot of the Spider-Man games leading up to that before were much more just brawlers, right? It was about using your webs, beating up guys, using things, grabbing things in the environment. But Noir not only had such a unique visual style, because look, Noir, but it really concentrated on stealth gameplay. So I just thought it was a really interesting. Sorry, we're like totally reading stuff.
Interesting. All right, so I've got 5 winners, and we'll post these in the chat. But we have Emmanuel Isaac 66. You have won one of the posters. The Mental Gamery Tee. Gyrus Clipper. You are also a winner of the poster, and Le Gaming Geek. You also are a winner, and Rufus March 23. All of you won the posters. We'll post that in the chat from the Insomniac account very shortly here, and we'll be writing down those names. You'll need to get in contact with us directly, and those winners will get the poster. But stay tuned. Like I said, we've got another sweepstakes coming up here in just a little bit.
From Corey's handwriting, that was really impressive.
Yeah. It's sometimes a little tricky, but Corey's going to type those in so you can see them in the chat. Congrats to everyone who won. We'll get those shipped out. Like I said, you have another chance to win in just a little bit, and in just a few minutes, we're going to be doing a full trailer rewind with Jacinda Chew, our art director, and Jon Paquette, our senior writer. So hopefully they'll be over here in just a minute or two. But we got a few more questions between now and then. Spidey Bro, I know a lot of people have been asking about collector's editions, pre-order bonuses. People want to know if there's consoles. Obviously, stuff that hasn't been announced we can't talk about yet. If there are things like that, if there aren't, we can't talk about it yet.
Would be cool.
All that stuff would be neat. So stay tuned. As soon as we can talk about anything like that, we will post it. But at this point, nothing's been announced. Just a regular edition of the game. You can pre-order at your favorite retailers. Not up on PSN for pre-order yet. It'll be up a little bit closer to launch.
Yes.
So, besides Shocker and Kingpin...
oh, no.
I
knew it. I knew he was going to come in. I knew it.
What? Hi, Ted.
What?
I knew.
I didn't know this either. I had no idea. I had no clue.
Now you're going to make me turn red as he came in
30 seconds ago, I walked over to Ryan Schneider and said, I'm just going to go in and bug Bryan about Paris.
Has he done this yet?
No, this is the first time. This is the first time. Everyone, Ted Price, the founder and CEO of Insomniac.
So I don't get nervous, and now I'm nervous.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, I'm totally interrupting the flow here.
That's okay.
No, it's all good.
What was your favorite part about being in Paris?
Oh, God. The dinner we went to.
The beef bourguignon?
Yeah. We had this beef dish that was just unbelievable.
Yeah, we found the best spot in Paris. I'm known for finding really good food places and eating it at like...
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was this hole-in-the-wall bistro. Awesome.
And so you found it?
Yeah.
That's where
James, you are the king of finding amazing places to eat. Yeah. I mean, every trip we've ever been on, I can rely on you to pick somewhere that's just unusual, but also really, really good.
Yeah, because we had that after we went to the press conference. Then we went out and
we went with Luke
celebrated.
Smith from Bungie, who's the creative director of Destiny 2, and it was actually really funny because everyone in this restaurant was speaking French, and then there was a happy birthday moment, but the whole restaurant sung happy birthday in English. Yeah. It was so bizarre. I was like, what is going on? Do they sing happy birthday in English here? Maybe they must. I don't know. It was the strangest thing.
Also, for me, the cool thing was, we did a lot of U.S. press for E3, and we did so many journalists from around the world, and wow, Spider-Man really is a global character that's beloved. I mean, it's amazing. So that was really cool to see, and so many people excited about the game. So, that's one answer, but the beef was ridiculous.
That was really good.
It was great. It was great. And the escargot.
So Ted, while you're here, what's your favorite moment in the trailer?
Oh man, my favorite moment is a very small one, but it's when Spider-Man starts running along the railing. Just that moment when we transition from sort of the story moments to the action, and then it's followed by the being on top of the van, and then eventually kicking the guy out of the car. For me, I'm an action fan. I love story, but those moments
I have one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's really
chat.
small.
What's your favorite moment in the trailer? Chat. Post it in the chat. I'd love to hear what your favorite moment is.
Because it got me thinking. The first time, so there's that scene where he's putting on the suit, and you see he pulls down the mask, and that's really hard to do to make it look good. And Alex, one of our animators, I believe it was Alex, did it. And I literally ran over to his desk to tell him how awesome it was, because it's just one of those subtle things where you actually, a lot of times you see him grab it and then we cut and it's perfect.
Yep.
And you actually see it come down and come perfectly into place. And that was so cool.
You know what? It's easy to forget that stuff's in game.
Yeah,
right? Real
the
time.
whole
Yeah, everything in the trailer is real time,
Yeah.
in game, in engine. None of that's pre-rendered CG.
Yeah.
None of it's.
So that's that. I know it's a small thing, but it means a lot when the team. And that's an example of the team. No one said to do that. No one even thought about it until one of the guys just put it in the game. So it was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's one of my favorite parts.
Well, I'll let you have your sofa back.
Yeah,
I just
can I have
wanted
my
to say
time,
hi.
please?
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
it's
this is
all
about you,
good.
Bryan. This
We
is
have a
all
couple.
about you.
We have a couple more people coming in soon to go through our trailer rewind with Jacinda and Jon, so they'll be in here shortly.
Cool.
We're gonna go frame or shot by shot through the trailer, not frame by frame. That would take a long time.
Yes, it would be.
That's what we did when we were reviewing it.
Yeah, a lot of frame by frames.
A lot of frame by frames.
Excellent. All right, guys.
Thanks for stopping by, Ted. Bye, Ted. Yay! Surprise visits. Yeah, that's the beauty of Insomniac in our studio. It's right here in the heart of the studio, so people can just swing by.
When he came in, I was like, is he going to watch? And they just start coming over and over. And I was like, what is he doing?
Okay, cool. So we'll have. So I think actually, we're going to get to that trailer rewind. And so Corey's going to show you guys the trailer real quick again. You'll see it at full speed while we get Jacinda and Jon in here. And then we'll come back and we'll go shot by shot through the trailer. And I have one more shout out, a little sadder note, but one of our fans, Benjamin Fritz, was messaging us because he's really excited about the live stream, but he was unable to make it because his dad died. And the funeral was today. So hopefully when you do watch this, Ben, we're thinking of you, bud. So hang in there, and thanks for tweeting to us. And like I said, we're sorry for your loss. So with that, I think Corey's going to fire the trailer, and we'll be back in 2 minutes after the trailer with Jacinda and Jon to go.
With Fisk behind bars, what's next?
And the city's safer than ever. Maybe Peter Parker can have more of a life.
Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Take care of this place. It represents the best part of me.
This is Miles. He's gonna be helping out around here.
For acts of extraordinary bravery. I'm the one who kept order in this city!
What is this? Devil's breath.
Your city and everything you care about will be destroyed. The people will beg you for help, but you won't be able to save them.
Get more backup. Wait!
We've got to play this just right. Please stop!
Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think.
Whew. Anyone else need a breather?
Here we go. 3. Cool, it's always awesome to watch that trailer again, and now we have a full couch. And so beyond Bryan Intihar, the creative director of Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, we have Jacinda Chew, the art director of the game, and Jon Paquette, the lead writer, I don't know, both.
All the above.
All the above. So writing some words and some dialogues and a lot of great stuff going on in the project. And so we wanted to take this time to kind of go through the trailer, talk about the making of it, maybe give some interesting Easter eggs and facts. So we're going to play it back on a lower volume and slow. We're going to freeze and stop a bunch. So guys, just yell stop if there's something you want to talk about, though I think we're all going to be yelling stop a bunch. And too much.
So you guys have like our names and plates and stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah,
professional.
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
Corey
fancy.
runs a tight ship.
Wow.
All right.
I'm impressed.
This is a tight thing right here. So, all right. So we're starting. Oh look, ESRB made it. You know, all that fun stuff. Now this is the 5-second trailer bumper, where now all movies and video games must have a trailer for the trailer ahead of it on YouTube, so people keep watching. Stop it right here.
Stop.
All right. New York City.
Yeah.
Jacinda, beautiful environment art. Empire State Building, Chrysler Building,
Birds.
birds.
Boats.
Wakes.
So the reason why we showed this shot was because I wanted to show a different side of New York City, because most of the time we're focusing on all the buildings, in the New York City, but I wanted to show that there's actually other things like the shoreline and the boats, and obviously pigeons. Who doesn't love a pigeon?
And people on the docks.
People on the docks. Actually, a fun fact about the people on the docks, when we first did this, there was actually a couple making out on that dock, which we thought was actually very sweet and romantic, but it got yanked, so.
Yeah.
The famous black ball.
Yeah. By forces beyond my control.
That's what the ESRB rating was for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For the makeout session.
Yeah.
All right. I think we can start again. Let's keep it rolling. The birds are rendered. Everything's live in engine. This is all live in engine. Red moon in the logo, which is nice. It doesn't work.
Stop.
Okay. Oh, not there. Please. All right.
Like he's falling asleep.
Reveal of Peter Parker. Let's talk about this. A lot of people, like, oh, so that's what Peter Parker looks like in this game.
Yeah.
How did we get to this look?
We were looking for basically the boy next door, if you will. So when we were looking at characters, we actually had a lot of issues because, we were finding a lot of people who were square-jawed and really, really hot, and that's not really Peter Parker's identity. And I know there's a lot of questions on how we designed Peter Parker, but he's actually based on a real human. There's actually a likeness actor that we scanned to create Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He was here the other day, which is it's really weird seeing him walk around the halls.
You're like, whoa, like, hey, Pete, what's up, man?
Yeah.
So if you walk on the street and you see someone who looks like Peter Parker, that probably is Peter Parker.
Now, we haven't revealed the acting or voice cast or anything like that yet, we are working with, we have a couple Marvel writers working with us too. We haven't revealed any of that. Stay tuned for that kind of information. I know you guys will probably ask it. And yeah, I think one of the things about Peter Parker too is you all kind of have, there's been a lot of them over the years, a lot of different looks. Everyone has that Peter Parker in their imagination. So it may be different than you imagine at first, but I think over time you'll realize he looks like a Peter
he has
Parker.
rolled up sleeves because I wear rolled up sleeves.
Now, can we talk about his bracelets? His bracelets are...
It's funny, I was almost going to lean over to you and...
Let's talk about the bracelets.
About the bracelets.
Yeah, I saw there was a comment about the bracelets. So what are the bracelets? Those are web shooters.
Those
are web shooters.
Yeah,
He's built cool ass.
So they look like maybe like a Fitbit or something like that, but it's actually web shooters that if he had to be called into action when you have time to go into the suit, he could do what he's got to do. So people were wondering if they were mechanical web shooters. Yes, they're definitely mechanical web shooters.
Not organic, all mechanical, web shooters, web fluid, all that good stuff.
Right, and we actually had a product designer design the web shooters, so they're functional. Hopefully we'll have some really cool products, but it's really cool because the web shoes will actually snap into like the Fitbit looking device that he's got, and it's fully functional in his costume.
That's really cool. It's not Joe's Pizza, I'll say that.
No.
I will say the other funny thing about this shot was, like at the very end, this was the very last shot we got for the trailer. We blew the deadline slightly to do it, and there was a ketchup bottle. And I remember one of the coolest moments was they moved the ketchup bottle, and in real time it disappeared. And everyone was like, "That worked! That's amazing! It moved in real time. We moved it away."
Oh, I was actually thinking that of me and Jacinda freaking out the night before the trailer's due, going, "We have to fix this certain part of the image because it's not good enough yet." And she was offsite, I was at home reviewing something, and I was like. She would have trouble downloading the trailer. And I was like, I'm going to drive an hour to give you my laptop. So, yeah, it was... The final moments of a trailer are always a nightmare.
Yeah,
I thought we're actually going to talk about the fact that this is an Italian restaurant with French fries.
Which I love.
Yeah.
I fought for that.
Yeah.
So, but that was, to me, part of the joke, because it's one of their favorite restaurants. And,
Yes.
it's designed to look like an Italian restaurant, but they serve French fries.
All right, another question we get a lot.
And you'll learn why that in the game, too. There's a reason.
So, two more Peter related. Well, no, I'll save one of those for a little bit. One question, though. Relationship status.
It's complicated.
All right, let's keep going.
It's complicated.
It's that complicated. There you go.
There you go.
Are you in trouble?
Marvel, yay, Marvel. Okay, pause it again. Aunt May revealed.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys want to say about Aunt May?
She's not Marissa Tomei. People want to know it's not Marissa Tomei. We decided to go a little bit older with our Aunt May, and everybody asked, well, why did we go with this? As we were making a game, we just felt like Pete being 23 now and where he's in his life and what kind of fits the time frame, we just thought this particular take on Aunt May was the best. And obviously, she's not sitting at home in Queens making wheat cakes here. She's actually volunteers.
Yeah, that was the thing when we were casting. We wanted to get somebody who had a lot of energy still, who could really focus on helping people out. Her working at the Feast Center is, it's kind of part of her soul.
Right.
The actress that we cast for that seems to fit that really well.
And I think she was actually the first Aunt May that we saw.
Right.
And we ended up going with her. Yeah.
The 5 years of service banner is for her, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
she's been working at
Feast. This is
for a
Feast.
long time.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's keep playing then. Stop there. Go back. Scrub that back, Corey. Yeah, we got. Okay. So this is Peter's apartment with a big eviction notice on the door.
Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, this kind of shows the park. When Spider-Man succeeds because he saved her early on that he's taking down Fisk. Peter fails. It's kind of that you kind of see that back and forth a lot. And even though, things at Spider-Man are good right now, things at work and his personal life are still not that great. And, he gets evicted from his apartment.
Yeah. Interesting. Dark. Ooh.
That doesn't really mean anything. It's just at night, so don't imply the game's like super dark.
No. I like the moody lighting, though. I think the lighting's really cool.
It is very moody.
Yeah.
And one of the other weird facts about this room was that we were trying to figure out what would have been left over after he had been evicted, and there was all kinds of stuff that was on the floor. We had tons of socks for some reason. There's lots of socks. There's a tennis ball. We never explained this, and we never will.
Yeah, but
and I will say,
I was going to ask about.
I like it's a bed frame, right?
And there's a moment after he leaves his room, the cinematic continues, and again, John wrote this, and John, I don't even know if he wrote this in the script of what he does.
I think it was James Ham who.
Yeah,
who,
so
made that
I
up.
mentioned the thing about the animator always making things better. There's something happens in the next scene that the animators just did something really cool, and it just adds a little bit of flair to what his actions, and it's really cool. And I'm sorry to tease you on that, but it's really cool.
Amazing Lucas says, where's he going to stay? MJ, Aunt May? You'll just have to play the game to find out.
And talk about those in the game.
Yep. A Vacant Hornet said, you'll get your rent when you fix this damn door. Now, he did break the door way harder originally in this scene. It was like the door came flying off and stuff. It was okay, we probably should not
But I think, we've talked a lot about what this scene kind of also shows is that it's not just the superhero journey. It's not just about him in the suit. We experience all sides of his life. So actually seeing, dealing with, where do I go live now, or where's my stuff? We want to tackle those things. So we really want to have that full 360-degree experience of playing as this character.
Right. Seabase Gaming asks, when will it come out? We don't have a release date yet. It's coming out 2018. As soon as we have something to share, we will blast it everywhere, all over Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all those things. So follow us on social media. You'll find out the instant we reveal it. We promise that will be the best way for you to find out.
Don't worry, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny asks me every day when the game's
send you a
out.
text.
So we'll be, trust me.
He must just have a reminder on his iPhone to send Bryan Intihar
that was when after we showed at the press conference, that was the first message I got was,
when's it coming out?
When's it coming out?
Where's the release date?
Yeah.
If you watch their live reaction video at Kind of Funny, they just as soon as it said just 2018 on the screen, Greg threw his hands
everything
in the
else
air.
sucks.
It's
we didn't just show you 2 minutes of awesome stuff. No, just the date's wrong. Yeah. All right.
All right, let's keep it playing. Got plenty more to see. Okay. All right. Pause. So Peter gameplay right here. You are controlling Peter walking through the Feast Shelter right now.
Yeah.
This is, there was a question in here, and my questions are all messed up now, but let's talk about Peter gameplay. What was important about being able to see Peter and play as Peter at certain points in the game?
I mean, John, you can also talk about this, but I think I'm making you actually answer this question.
Okay.
No, go for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we wanted to do differently in this game is to not only experience what life is like as Spider-Man swinging through the city and doing all the cool things that he does, but also experience what it's like to be Peter Parker in the game and have to balance those two identities. And be able to do certain things, when you're
and like what is it like when he goes visits at Feast, or when he goes to work? Like,
what's the experience of that building like? Or what's the experience when he's going to work? Not necessarily you have to juggle them, but that you're seeing him juggle them, and that in those moments when he is Peter Parker, you get to still be a part of it.
And the core fantasy that when we initially started talking about making a Spider-Man game, it was like we all want to be Spider-Man, but part of the coolness of being Spider-Man is that you can be a regular guy sometimes, and then you get to put on the suit and go out and do the thing. So we wanted to capture that.
And for us, it's like we said right off the bat, one of our really early conversations was we wanted to make a human story, really wanted to tell it's really hard to tell a human story if you don't ever see the human side of him, Obviously he is, he's human when he's wearing the mask, but like, where's the you see the vulnerability, you see the relatability when you at some of these moments. So for us, it was really, really important to get that across.
Godborn Plus says, is it a good gameplay mix though? I don't want to feel like playing Peter is a hassle.
It's not going to be. I promise you that. The number one thing is you got to feel and play like Spider-Man better than they've ever done before, and that's our number one goal, is to give you the ultimate Spider-Man experience. So.
Spider-Man's the majority, the chunk. We want to make that amazing and awesome.
Like we said, portions will be playable. You're playing Spider-Man a lot.
Cool. And I love the Feast Shelter. I think it looks really cool. I love the banners. I love the colors. Really cool. It's really neat.
Yeah.
It's just a great piece of the art is terrific.
Yeah.
All right.
Jacinda does a great job.
Yeah. Let's press play. So we see Martin Lee. I love this shot right here. Just gives you a lot because it says, "Hey, Martin Lee's this good guy opening feast shelters," especially to people that may not know Martin Lee, Mr. Negative. He's kind of a newer character in the comics, so this is why we had this shot in here.
That's part of me.
Pause.
So this is important. Martin Lee and Peter know each other.
Yeah. So one thing I want to remind people is that this universe is not based on a particular comic line or one of the movies. This is a unique Spider-Man universe. So in our universe, Wilson Fisk has been the big bad. This is the guy he's been going after for the last 7-8 plus years. So when he finally takes him down, he's like, okay, what's next? And that when Fisk goes away, it gives the rise to other people. And in this game, what we're going to see is. Now he's going to be facing more dangerous enemies than he's faced before, like when Martin Lee becomes Mr. Negative, but there's a personal connection to them. So that's something that we thought what makes for a great Spider-Man story is if there's some type of personal connection to the villains.
Awesome. So while we're getting that going, I'm going to tell Corey it's time to start getting the second sweepstakes set up. So guys, be ready. There's going to be another sweepstakes here momentarily. And we're going to get that rolling, and Corey's good. So the second sweepstakes and giveaway we're doing is for one of these hoodies. Actually, you know what? I've got one. Throw it to me. Justin, you throw that extra hoodie. Or is that a t-shirt?
That's a t-shirt.
All right, never mind. We're going a hoodie, not a t-shirt. So the hoodie that I am wearing right here that has the awesome spider, it's actually got a couple logos that hide in the back underneath the hood. We have 3 of these ultra rare hoodies, and they are ultra rare, to give away. And all you have to do, you see it on the screen right now, is type in the chat, !raffle, then a space, and then hashtag hoodie sweepstakes. We'll give you guys a few minutes. Put that in. You should get a confirmation by the chat bot when you've done it correctly, and then we'll draw 3 names in a little bit. I'll announce them on the stream, and we'll post them in the chat when they're drawn by the chat bot. So go ahead and get that in, and then we're going to continue right now while you guys are posting that with the trailer. All right, pause again.
Here we go.
All right, so
here we go.
This Miles is in the universe.
Yeah.
He knows Peter, and now he's helping out Aunt May at Feast.
Yeah. So he actually ends up volunteering at Feast.
A couple things that people may or may not have noticed. Miles has an interesting T-shirt on.
Midtown.
It's Midtown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense. He's in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Hanging out in the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally dance around all the Miles questions.
Okay.
Because I know everyone wants to know about him.
All right. And one other question. Some people were trying to figure out how old Miles is.
Okay.
And this I'm gonna let you say.
He's 15.
Miles is 15. He's not the same age as Peter. He's
younger. He's 20. So Pete's 23. Miles is 15.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not 23 years old.
Yeah. Someone thought he was the same age, or that
No,
he was
he's
the,
not.
No,
He's not.
So they're not necessarily like contemporaries with each other. Miles is definitely
Now,
younger.
their dynamic is really, really important in the game. And, you know, we've said from the beginning this is a Peter Parker journey. This is a Peter Parker experience. And his relationship with Miles is very important to the development of Peter. So it's one
Well,
of
let's just show a different side of Peter that you
Yeah.
don't actually get to see very
Yeah,
often
yeah.
in Spider-Man.
It's like you've heard me talk about him before, Jay.
Yeah. Not like we were just on a whole weekend together in Paris.
I'm trying to think of what presentation I mentioned that exact line. But yeah, it's... and I would say, and John can talk about this too, is like Miles originally wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
And then as we started working on the story and developing it with Marvel and Sony, we were looking for another element, and we finally brought him into the game. And thankfully, Jacinda has said, yes, we can make yet another character to put in the game because we have a lot of them.
But what it does is it allows a different side of Peter to come out, and
Yeah.
it allows you to kind of see how he's growing as a man.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got this other
Yeah.
character who he cares a lot about.
Yeah. So I'm really, and I know everybody has like 1,000 questions about Miles. When it's time, we'll talk more about
We
Miles.
love Miles. We're really excited
Yeah.
to have him in the game and in the
Yeah.
universe. And obviously, you know, we teased him at E3 and people were
Yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah.
This like gives a huge chunk of info without saying much.
Yeah.
It's just a huge chunk of info
Yeah.
because you kind of know his age.
Yeah.
You know he knows Peter. You know he knows Aunt May. So
Yeah.
that kind of starts to place him into our Spider-Man world and universe.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, let's keep it rolling here, and we'll maybe get through another shot or two, and then we'll draw some names.
Of extraordinary bravery.
Yeah. I mean,
you can pause. You can you go back.
Yeah, let's go back real quick. So we see.
There's a lot of stuff in this freaking trailer.
I know. It's like filled. It's
So
filled.
a lot of people saw in the first time we ever reeled the game that Osborn re-elect Mayor Osborn. So
Yep.
this is again more evidence of that, and you get your first look at
his face.
Norman Osborn in the game. So yes, you know he does obviously. You know he's gone from being head of Oscorp and now is the
Mayor of New York City and running for re-election.
Yes.
With a big rally, which we'll see again shortly, I believe.
Extraordinary bravery.
Let's see what's next. Oh, this is great. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Kingpin show.
Boom.
All right, so Kingpin's been put away.
Yeah, so like I said, the beginning of the game, very early on, we start with Spider-Man taking down his, at this time, the greatest adversary, Wilson Fisk. So obviously, as you can tell, Spider-Man was successful in doing that, and he's
He
being
messed
taken
up
away.
his suit. Jeez.
Yeah, he got pretty beat up from that fight. It's a pretty epic fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of the villains in this game wear suits.
They get beat up.
Some type of suit.
Yeah, some
type
kind
of
of
suit.
suit.
Yeah.
We'll see another one later in a little
Yeah.
bit. All right, keep it going here.
What is this?
And okay, let's go one more. Actually, I think you hear MJ say "Devil's Breath." She's
Yeah.
just looked at this file. Obviously, talking about MJ being this reporter
Yeah.
and kind of on the case.
She discovers something called Devil's Breath, and that's all I can say about Devil's Breath.
Yep. Corey, you ready for this drawing on these hoodies? All right, we're going to pull 3 names right now. Corey's going to generate those names. He's going to show them to me on a whiteboard. I will read them, then we'll post them in the chat. And we'll get those mailed out to you in the next week or two. So
pretty
thanks for
fun.
entering. This is fun?
Yeah, I like
it's
it.
fun.
I
It's
like
fun.
it.
We get to come in here and talk and go through this and kind of analyze it. It's
Yeah,
fun to
I
go
like
through
it.
the details with everyone.
I'm
To
having
kind of
fun.
let them know what we're thinking. I'm having a
Can I
blast.
can I say hi to my buddy Joe?
Yeah, you got a minute here.
Joe,
Wonderful.
hello. If you're watching, and tell Chewy I said hi.
I saw Seabake, Chris Baker, who
Oh,
is a
Seabake!
great video series. Sorry we're scooping you on all this stuff.
And Chris Baker, congratulations on your Houston Astros. I saw your video.
Boo!
Well, I'm a long-suffering sports fan of a franchise, and his just won, so we got to give him congrats.
LA's long suffering too.
Yeah, not really.
All right, fine.
No, not really.
Fine. He says Seabake says hi. I see him in the chat. He has a great video series that went through the first 2 videos.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, 3 winners for you. Art Vader 98, Gaming Wally, and Joey ID 97. You all are winners of the hoodies. You need to get in touch with the Insomniac account on Twitch and give us mailing address, also size info, so you can get it in the correct size. And like I said, we'll get those mailed out in the next couple weeks. Thank you guys for all entering all of the contests. Hi from Mike Jones, My Joe 311. Of course he has 311 in his name.
That's Mike?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hi,
Jones.
Mike.
Mike Jones is the VP of Marvel Games. And
I hope I didn't say anything bad.
He's a big 311. Of course, you knew Sony and Marvel would be watching this.
I knew Eric would be, but I wasn't sure.
I'm gonna say hi to Eric. You can say hi to Eric. You can say hi to Jen Hallett and Chris and David Bull and all of our people at Sony and Marvel that are probably watching us. So make sure we don't say anything. They have to yell at us later. All right, you ready to play further? We're gonna end up going a little long today, guys. I hope that's okay because we're not even halfway through the trailer. Pause. Okay, this is a question. You included plenty of secrets and Easter eggs for fans set under the mask, and this is one not a lot of you caught. Guys, what do you know? What do you see in New York City that maybe is evocative?
Doctor Strange's digs.
Look at that.
The Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah, the Sanctum Sanctorum is right there. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah.
Now, a question people get, and I saw this earlier, and I don't know if I wrote it down. Someone said, will we see Marvel locations like Avengers Tower and or characters in the game, or is it just Spider-Man stuff, says Will Snook.
We were really, really fortunate to not only create a New York that people are going to recognize, but also create a Marvel New York. And we worked a lot with Marvel to pick those landmarks that would really, really please fans, like Doctor Strange's house. And we were able to tease that. Yeah, this is more from a city building perspective. This is more than just New York City. It's Marvel New York City.
I think it's fair to keep in mind this is still a Spider-Man story. It's Spider-Man characters. Yes. It's a Spider-Man game, so it's not trying to say there's going to be a ton of other Marvel characters or anything like that. But that said, it does take place in Marvel's New York City.
Yeah.
So you're going to see some of those other locations that may not necessarily be directly from Spider-Man's world, but are from the larger Marvel
And he may, comment about it when he swings by and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, commentary in the city.
Have some fun with it. But and I have to say, a lot of this is a big ups to Sony and Marvel to let us kind of build a Marvel New York and kind of take those elements that people love and bring it to our game.
Yeah, very cool.
And also when you're playing the game, like if the Marvel landmark has the physical address, we try to match it as closely as possible.
Yeah.
So if you're really into trivia, the Sanctum Sanctorum actually does have a physical street address. It's approximately in this right place when you play the game. And you'll find the same thing with a lot of the other Marvel landmarks as well.
So one of the things to note, it's not an exact recreation of Manhattan, but as we try to kind of get the feel right, so the scale feels pretty right, and everything's where it kind of should be within the scale of our Manhattan.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that the environment team, they do this really awesome thing where they, before they start working on a district, they do a lot of research, and they do these crazy the feel, the tone, the vibe of this particular district, and they Jason Hickey, one of our lead environment artists, sends it out, and it's just when you go play this game, every district's gonna feel unique to that. Hell's Kitchen feels like Hell's Kitchen and vice versa. So the amount of detail that the guys are putting in is pretty amazing, and then just adding that Marvel element to it just brings it over the top.
All right, keep it going.
People will beg you for help.
That's gonna start picking up fast. Little Spidey sense here.
Yeah, little Spidey sense. Recognizing Martin Lee.
So now you're starting to see something. So pause this real quick. Go back. This whole chain of explosions gets started off by a negative blast. So this is I was talking Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Mr. Negative's energy, and then starts a chain reaction of explosions.
Yeah.
Which, as you may be able to see from the banner, is at this. The event we saw.
At this event, yes, it's a important moment in the game.
All right,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Get more backup.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. And then all right.
We always pause on
it's hard. It's hard, because within animations, there's frames and everything.
Yeah.
So Yuri.
Yeah. So Captain Yuri Watanabe, which we introduced at E3, that's basically. Even though Yuri gets along, so Spider-Man kind of has this love-hate relationship with the city. Sometimes they love him, sometimes they hate him, and there's people in between. Some people in the Force think he's a menace. Some people think, I know he's going to do good, and Yuri's definitely one of those people who trusts him, believes he's there for good, and she kind of helps him. They kind of help each other. So this is a moment where they two run into each other.
She's got a cool jacket too.
Yeah. MJ and Yuri have great jackets.
It's funny because when we bring some of the actors in for VO sessions and they see the footage of their characters, a lot of them will be like, "Oh, that's a cool outfit."
Well, one in particular really liked the outfit.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say because a lot of the Marvel characters I think needed some updating because with Yuri Watanabe, if you look at the original comic books, she's normally in a pantsuit. It's it's not very appealing. So we try to design clothes that were hopefully modern but also timeless as well and could make them look cool. So Yuri's actually one of my favorite character designs.
Yeah, and Jacinda, you're into a lot of the fashion for all these characters, and it's super. The fashion design is really, really important.
Yeah, and I try to make sure that what they wear fits their personality. In her case, she's a bit of a badass, but still want to make sure that she looks fashionable. So that's why she's wearing the black leather jacket. Whereas MJ, when you see her in the restaurant scene, she's got like the army jacket, and then she wears a nice little scarf and the brown jacket, which I think it's hip, not too hip, because I didn't want to make her into like a total fashionista. We want to make sure she looks capable. But she's also appealing and relatable. And again, we've definitely had one of the actors to say, "Wow, I love her outfit. I would totally wear that." In fact, I think I have that in my wardrobe.
That's awesome.
If you're just joining us now, this is Insomniac Live. We're on the couch doing a live rewind of our Marvel Spider-Man trailer that we released at Paris Games Week. This is creative director Bryan Intihar, art director Jacinda Chew, lead writer Jon Paquette. Let's hit play and keep it going. Got about half a trailer to get through. Okay, so Inner Demons, MJ. Pause. Can you go back to MJ real quick? Just like this moment of her trying to stop a hostage situation is pretty cool.
So I think this is another example of she's not just a damsel in distress. She's actually more on the front lines of the situation and trying to help out.
Okay. All right, cool. Keep rolling, Corey. Get faster now. Mr. Negative, seen some of those effects.
Just awesome traversal.
We talked about that shot, like one of the great shots from the trailer. And
this was the shot that Ted was saying how much he liked it.
Yeah, and Ted Price crashed the stream a little bit earlier. Yeah. This is the shot we were talking about. Go and hit play again. Gameplay right here.
Yeah.
Like ping guys out on a truck. More gameplay.
So
this is MJ's gameplay right here. This is a gameplay camera controller. And
so I mean, we talked about her being playable. We talked about what she's doing is related to her job. So you guys can fill in the blanks.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of inner demons with guns and
so she's definitely in a pretty dangerous situation.
Right, for sure.
We've got to play this just right.
All right. Classic.
They don't kiss. All right, pause. Okay, go back because this scene is rad. I just want to see it again.
So actually, one of the things that Jacinda, you wanted to bring up, you're talking about the suit here is kind of shiny, and I know fans have talked about the suit and how the material response maybe has evolved a little bit. So can you talk about the suit?
I was gonna say, like, all the trailers we always show are always in some ways a work in progress because we're still making the game. So I got to say, the fans are so sharp-eyed. So what happened was on previous trailers, we were still working on Spider-Man's suit material. And what we had discovered was that in order to make his suit PBR compliant, that is working with our lighting system, we actually had to standardize his material. So when we switched it over, we ended up getting a lot more spec response, which is what we wanted. But we ended up getting a lot more than I think we expected.
Like shininess is the spec response, right?
Yeah, so this is why you're getting the shininess. And then the other difference between this trailer and previous trailers is that Spidey's, oftentimes he's blown out with really big lights, he's not just in the outdoors with a diffuse light. So that's causing the highlights to be even like crazier. So while we're really pleased that we're able to get this super high range of like specularity, it's too much for the final ship game. So we're actually going to be dialing it back.
Yeah.
And again, it was because we were working on a lot of the tech.
Cool. Yeah, so the suit hasn't changed, but like I said, some of the materials and back-end stuff has caused it to appear slightly different, which you guys noticed.
Yeah,
and some of that stuff we're things like that, whenever you change lighting, all of that can affect other things, so it's always this delicate balance of dialing things and pushing, because whenever you change one thing, it changes 100 other things.
And that'll happen all the way up to ship.
Yeah, it's going to happen all the way up to the ship. And the intention was, no, we are not changing the material of his suit. It is not latex.
Yeah, there you go. Seabake pointed out, which I thought was interesting, there's a huge Oscorp presence in Grand Central Terminal.
There is.
Interesting to know.
That's an interesting observation, Chris Baker.
Yeah, very good. Good observation.
I actually haven't heard anybody say that yet.
Yeah, I know. That was the first time. I thought it was so good I wanted to highlight it. So
Chris is very dangerous when he does his analysis because he's
he finds all the little things that
Yeah.
we get like, oh no, no one will catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris did.
yeah.
And actually, can you roll it back when he smashes through the door? I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
name? Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good Easter egg for those of you asking about Easter eggs.
All right, keep going.
Get the
Stop.
oh, you gotta get it. You gotta get it like first frame, like when the door opens.
Stop.
Oh,
All right, so
you
the
can see it.
the blurry name on the door is Roseman's. and
Roseman's?
Bill Roseman.
Is there who's a Roseman? We know a Roseman.
We know William Bill Roseman from Marvel Games. He's the creative director over there, and we always joke. So we named it after him. Then I always joke when he wants to change something, we don't want to change in the game. That means we're just going to call it something else, and we're either going to call it Jones's or Monticelli's or Sang's or whoever we like that day. So
It'll be Macintosh. Yeah.
Exactly.
Becca's.
We always worry or warn Bill that if he wants to make a change we don't agree with, we'll just change it.
And people always wonder, like, how does one become an Easter egg? Well, in this case, for this particular business, we just needed a very fancy sounding last name. And
Roseman's.
I felt that out of all of us, Bill had the fanciest one.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's how he got the honor.
Matt have asked who's the devil that edited this trailer. That's Corey, who's in the chat and running this
Thank you,
stream.
Corey.
So
Yeah.
Corey is the guy that did it. You've seen him on the show. He hosted 2 episodes this week while we were in Paris. You can go back and always watch those on our past videos. All right, we've got about a third of the way to go. Let's hit play. Let's see if we can. All right, we saw. No, well, actually, no, it wasn't quite that one.
Yeah, wait, keep going.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Just great lighting.
Yeah.
Spider-Man using webs.
So
All
that's
right.
another thing is you get a
a little
sense of-
further. Go a little further on this one.
But go back.
Oh,
Can we
go
go back
back.
to the negative blast?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is we've talked a lot about Mr. Negative, who he is, and you start to get a sense of his powers, and his powers grow, and he gets even stronger throughout the game. So this is kind of you're seeing some of that here.
Jordan McCleary said, "Are you guys already finished working on the game?" Absolutely not. I've stolen these 3 individuals.
That's the best joke I've heard all day.
From working on the game. There's some people that, like, I had this come up with another fan, and they're like, "Oh, you guys finished the game a while ago." I'm like, "No, we didn't."
Yeah, we're done.
We are all.
Yeah, I'm
there's
done.
a massive crew.
I'm going
here
home
in
after this.
Insomniac.
I'm done. I'm done for the day.
And there's still much to go, so we are working very hard on the game constantly. It's still coming together. So
John, you're done, right?
Done. Yeah. I'm on vacation from now to the end of the year.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So go ahead and hit play again. All right, let this play out just a little further. I want to get more of the apartment in.
Okay.
All right, now I can hit it. Perfect. Easter eggs
Easter eggs.
galore!
All over the place. All
Galore!
over the place.
First, we were talking about how epic this shot is because just putting on the
Yeah.
mask is like a hard
For me,
technical thing.
that's the thing. I mean, we have a lot of Easter eggs here, but just from a technical standpoint, getting that mask to pull down and actually having it look all great, that's a lot of credit to the Insomniac team because they're magicians.
All right, so we've got a poster in the upper left corner that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Jacinda, because this was your baby, talk about it. You and Gavin.
Yeah, so this is one of our, like I said, this room is definitely a passion project, and there's nothing I love better than a good Easter egg. So we needed a poster in the upper left-hand corner, and I was trying to figure out what type of poster it should be. And then because of his origins and because he started out as a wrestler, we're like, this is the perfect thing to put there. And it was really cool because it's one of those things that it wasn't scheduled. Gavin Golden, our lead character artist, felt really strongly about it. So he did this. He's also a very big wrestling fan.
He is.
Huge.
So he did this on his own time, made a fantastic job. You guys will also notice that there's a date on there. You probably can't zoom up. It says, I think it's August 14th. That actually, is it really? Oh, so okay.
And it's, go ahead.
It's a couple things. So basically, the artist who worked on this, Grant Hollis, his son's birthday is August 14th. Apparently, it's also John's birthday.
Is it really your birthday?
It really is my
That's
birthday.
really
And
funny.
thirdly, it's Hulk Hogan's birthday.
Ah.
Did anybody catch that? I'm just
No,
looking now.
no. And then the other interesting, the year is because the game is set in
2018.
2018, and the year of the poster is 2010.
10. I'm guessing at that because I can't read it because I'm
But
blind
eight
as that.
years ago,
Yeah.
so he's been
Yeah.
Spider-Man for 8 years. He's bit by a spider 8 years ago.
And that's the kind of detail that we think about. We're like, okay, well, we got to get the date right. And when we look at these things, like whether it's internally or we're working with Marvel and Sony, we're always looking at like, does everything add up, right? And that's a testament to the team that they are thinking on that granular of a level.
Yeah, a couple other interesting things. Obviously, there's some photos there of folks, and
Yeah.
then what's
Do we
this
want
item
to
in front of the
do
air?
we want to say who one of those?
Do we want to identify them?
Do you want to talk about who they are?
It's up to, yeah, you guys.
Well, we have Pete and we have MJ.
Yeah.
And who's the third person?
Who would the third person be?
Who is that?
Great tell.
Jacinda?
It's Harry Osborn.
Oh, Harry! Oh, Harry. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely had some people tweet me, and they're trying to identify the people, so I wanted to just set the record straight. But that's a picture of them from high school, and you know they're obviously friends from high school.
And then the other picture is
that's Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
There you go. And what's the pink potted plant?
Just give it to Jacinda's again.
This one is so obscure, but I think Brian.
Chris Baker caught it.
Yeah.
Chris Baker did catch this and messaged Brian about it.
That is a ridiculous level of Spider-Man trivia right there. I didn't think anybody would catch this, but in one of the original, I think it's an Amazing Spider-Man comics, there's actually a pink plant that's hanging in Peter Parker's window. So we replicated this plant and we put it in front of the air conditioner. So again, did anyone else find this except Chris Baker?
I was unaware of anyone else connecting that.
So I had teased that there was some Marvel thing, and we talked about there was a Marvel New York, right? And it was driving Chris crazy, and I was like, I'm not telling you or you're gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But he's like, I found the plant. And I'm like, you found the plant? That's the one thing. How'd you find that?
Plant. I also know the plant is dead.
Yeah.
Good job, Pete.
Yeah, that is kind of the joke. I mean, you guys have probably noticed too. His rooms. You guys have seen the concept. His room's a little bit messy.
Yeah.
His hair's a little bit messy. His plant is dead. He's got a lot of things going on. He's a busy guy, and we wanted to make sure it's reflected in the world that he lives in.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's keep it rolling.
What do you think?
I think that's everything.
We're
not going to talk about the calendar.
Yeah.
No. We're not going to talk about the calendar.
Awesome,
crazy action.
Scott. Oh yeah, go back. So fans pointed out that that clip of Punch is slightly edited, obviously. Trailer magic, so you're like, it doesn't look like it lines up. Well, yeah, that's the trailer. It's movie magic, everybody. But it looks good in motion.
Oh, I didn't realize
that.
Okay.
But can you back up to the full-on shot of him, Corey? Yeah, because it's like, he's swinging for his head and one of them gets him in the chest.
Yeah.
So it works in trailer form.
That's what really.
So, people were pointing that out to me today. I'm like, yeah, we know.
I didn't even know that. All right. Wow.
We cut it. So Shocker.
Yeah.
Some people, one of the questions we had, besides Shocker and Kingpin, can we expect other classic villains? And just to tease, I know you can't. I don't think we're done with villains.
No, we're definitely not done with.
That was Cable.
No, actually, if you asked, just it reminds me every day how many people we have in the game. I would say what this trailer does a good job of representing that we have both classic characters like Shocker and Kingpin, but we also have some relative newcomers like Mr. Negative. So that's kind of a good kind of cross section of what we have, and there's a lot of them. Trust me.
Yeah, people are big fans. Obviously, he's got a suit on.
Yeah, and this he's like we kind of said, he's recognizable yet he's our Shocker, right? He's different from his helmet to his gauntlets to his suit. So we always want to try to get Insomniac spin on it as much as we can.
Nice. Yeah, and I know some people asked us how we designed the Shocker villain, but we basically only have looked at the comics. We weren't really influenced at all by the movies. That's all we look at when we're actually designing all of the villains. And in this case, we just wanted to update his suit, give it a little bit more functionality. And then people have noticed that his gauntlets are really big. But when we're making a game, you want to make sure that it's really clear what his powers are. So it's really important to make sure that his business ends are big.
Business ends.
I like that. I like it.
I like that. That's good.
I like it. All right, let's keep it rolling. Ow. And then that was the shot of the poster.
Yeah, so that's essentially
we can go back to that train shot one more time. I mean, like I said, we can compare this to the concept, or you can see it down here in the we've got the poster right here. So, boom. There's the piece of concept art which we released at Comic-Con. A few of you won the poster earlier, and there it is in real action. Got that jacket unbuttoned, which I think is really cool, like just the fabric and all of the suit. I don't know.
I just think it's really. I just think it's early on, there's not a ton of people on the project. Jacinda and I just do a lot of. I ask her for we get inspiration pieces. So we'll, John and I will pull out moments from the story treatment or something. And go, hey, can we just get some visuals of what this could be that inspires a team? And it's so crazy how that poster is so matched up to what actually ended up being in the game. It's just really, really cool.
Well, the other cool part about that is that when Jacinda does those concepts, it actually ends up inspiring more story level design, and so it's kind of like a loop of
really
inspiration.
Cool. A lot of yes-anding going on, just escalating everything.
Yeah, I definitely would give a shout out to Dennis Chan, who's our, he's our main key concept artist.
Oh,
His stuff
Dennis.
is amazing. And I can't wait to keep showing more of his work
It's
as we
awesome.
progress. It's really, really good.
All
Used
right.
a lot of presentations.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes my life a lot easier. A lot of presentations.
Thanks, Dennis.
So, guys, I see more questions coming in from chat. Jonah Jameson, suits from Homecoming, all sorts of things. We're not getting into a lot of stuff we haven't shown. There's going to be a lot of suits. There's a lot more characters we haven't talked about yet or revealed. So just stay tuned. There'll be much more to come. Corey, let's play. I think we got one shot left. We got that awesome logo, Marvel Spider-Man, and Spidey's hanging around, asking if you need a breather. And 2018 is when the game is coming out. So, guys, like, what? I have a question for everyone, and how much fun are you guys having doing this?
A lot of fun. It's the dream job. It's literally I'm living my dream. I get to work in Insomniac and work on Spider-Man. There's nothing better than that. At the same time, it's stressful because we know how important it is to everybody on the stream and over the world. It's really, there's such a demand to have a great Spider-Man game because he's so popular. So even though as stressful as it can be, the excitement and the enthusiastic nature of our studio make it a super awesome work on.
There's a lot of ups and downs, I would say.
Yeah.
Like any production, you have those moments where you're like, oh my god, this is so amazing, and then you have another moment where you're like, I really want this to be great, but I don't know if it'll be great.
Yeah.
There's a huge desire, since we're all fans, there's a huge desire to make sure that everybody else out there gets the best experience.
I still remember, it's hard to surprise the studio sometimes, but when Ted announced we were going to make a Spider-Man game, literally hearing a gasp in the auditorium from people like, oh my god, we're going to work with Marvel, holy cow. It was, and that just built, and just, it's been super cool, and it's been amazingly rewarding, and we just got to finish it up.
Yeah, and you guys will probably see, but the team is so passionate about it. Everybody who's working on it is a big Spider-Man fan, and that passion really informs all the really cool things that occur in the game, because a lot of stuff actually just even comes up right during our design meetings. They don't just come because it's written
just
or it's
like today.
Yeah.
There's something that's going in the game that was not originally planned,
so
and
good.
I think it was Jacinda and the team came up with this idea for his pick of mission. We talked to Marvel, and they were like 2 thumbs up, and now it's in the game. And when the game comes out, we'll talk about that scene because it's really fun.
Oh, no, I'm gonna have to find
But
out.
that's
I don't even know.
and that's an example of that was never planned. No one ever thought about it, and then we start working on this mission and that moment, and it comes out to be something even better than it originally was going to be.
All right, I know, guys, in the chat, you've got a lot of other questions. I know we're almost done here, pretty much done. People are asking about demos or box art or all sorts of stuff. Sorry if we don't have questions. I saw you want to. Oh, someone said, "What's Shocker's name?" It's Herman Schultz.
Yes.
I can answer that one, Agent Spider. When will be available to order on pre-order on PlayStation Store? Closer to launch. As many as I can get in. Some people are asking about suits and stuff. Go back and rewatch the stream from the beginning. It'll be up there. Same thing on Collector's Edition. We haven't announced anything at this point. We answer a lot of questions, so if you haven't watched the whole stream, it'll be up on demand very, very shortly. But, chat, it's Friday. It's the weekend. Yeah. Thor Ragnarok came out last night. Who's going to go see it this weekend? Are you guys going to go see it? No, you've already seen it. You went to the premiere.
No, I didn't go to the premiere.
You didn't go to the premiere.
But I saw it.
I
saw it.
And
it's
no
really,
spoilers. No
it's
spoilers.
really freaking good.
It's getting great reviews, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it Sunday night.
Fantastic.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
All right, everyone's going to see it, I assume.
Yeah.
Chat, are you guys all going to go see it? Already saw it. Yeah. I know they had Thursday night screenings last night. So people were seeing it. I almost went and saw it in Paris because it comes out a week earlier there.
Whoa.
And I was like, man, I should have planned my whole weekend
really
better
good.
to have time to go see it. I saw Guardians early in Copenhagen earlier this year. It's really good.
It's really good. It's really funny. It's people are gonna have a blast. If you just want to have a good time at the theater, man, go check out Thor.
Okay, so as we wrap this up, any final thoughts from you guys? Things you're most happy about to reveal in the trailer? Jacinda and John, you didn't get a chance to answer that. But any final thoughts from each of you?
I'm just really happy that we finally get to see Peter. I think it's great, and I know you guys have probably already talked about that, but we've been working on that for a long time, and it's really cool to see both sides of Spider-Man.
I would say that was the most stressful part of the trailer,
That's
because
good.
everybody has an idea what Peter looks like.
Yeah.
Everybody has an idea. So and we've gotten a lot of great feedback, and people saying, yeah, it's who I had in my head, or it's been really cool to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add MJ as well, because obviously she's a critical character, and we've imagined her slightly differently than she's been in the comics, and I'm really proud of that fact as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, and this is we kind of talked about what's it like working on this game and stuff, and I will say it really helps when after we release something and to see all the people talking about it, and I know the three of us and you get a lot of people tweeting us, and that it does mean a lot. It really does. It's like a nice pick me up. It's like, oh yeah, we're making this for these people who are super passionate and loving what we're doing and loving what the team is doing. So I just want to say we really appreciate all those kind words. It really means a lot. I literally read every single person that tweets at me. I really do. And it's not
I'll call out Twitter's Bryan Intihar, just your name.
Yep.
At Bryan Intihar. Jacinda Chew. Are you on Twitter too? What's
Jon_Paquette.
Jon_Paquette. I knew it was slightly different.
Yeah, I got underscore too. Actually.
Oh, also, so Jacinda_2.
That's
Bryan
what happens.
Intihar,
That's
just
when you
straight
have
up.
a weird last name.
Not the Fragile Eagle on Twitter.
You can
Bryan
just go. You can just go Bryan Intihar with a Y.
I'm just James Stevenson. Insomniac Games is just Insomniac Games. We tweet a lot from there as well. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this stream today, please click that follow button on Twitch. We do stream 3 times a week. We play other people's games. We bring in people from all over Insomniac. We don't always talk Spider-Man very much, so hopefully this is a nice treat for you guys. I know you've been waiting for it. And we will talk Spider-Man again in the future when we have new stuff to share. But we'll be playing new games next week. We have Ted Price and John Fiorito coming to play Ratchet & Clank 1 because tomorrow's the 15th
by the way, I'm
anniversary of
totally
Ratchet.
gonna
You're going to crash it?
I'm
All
gonna
right,
crash that.
please do. And we're going to play stuff like Wolfenstein 2 and Call of Duty World War II next week. Well, you should come in on Wednesday then and play some Wolfenstein with us.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for those streams next week. In the interim, you can follow all of these fine folks on Twitter, myself, follow Insomniac Games, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sending your questions on Twitter, for participating in the giveaways. Make sure if you won, you get in touch with us so we can mail that stuff out to you. And thanks for all your support of Insomniac and of Marvel's Spider-Man. We're really excited to be making this game. We cannot wait to share more with you. And that concludes this kind of Paris Games Week drop of information and trailer. Keep an eye out for the latest news, as always, on Insomniac Games, and watch that hashtag Spider-Man PS4. And with that, I think we are out. So thanks for watching.
Good job, guys.
With Fisk behind bars, what's next?
And the city's safer than ever. Maybe Peter Parker can have more of a life.
Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Take care of this place. It represents the best part of me.
This is Miles. He's gonna be helping out around here.
For acts of extraordinary bravery. I'm the one who kept order in this city!
What is this? Devil's breath.
Your city and everything you care about will be destroyed. The people will beg you for help, but you won't be able to save them.
Get more backup. Wait!
We've got to play this just right. Please stop!
Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think.
Whew. Anyone else need a breather?
PlayStation